Good evening, Professor Nasrin and all the participants. So we are on the eighth session of the workshop, NEP workshop, and today we have with us Professor Nasrin. She is from the Department of Education, Aligarh Muslim University, and she is going to orient us and discuss on the topic diversity, student diversity and inclusivity in education. So I think so. The topics that have been covered in the NEP are very diverse and different, and we have been gaining a lot of knowledge and understanding right from day one. So today we have yet another very new topic. So let us gain a whole lot of understanding out of this through Professor Nasrin. Thank you so much, Professor Nasrin. On to you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, Professor Yasmin. And I pay my hearty thanks to Director UGC MMTTC Aligarh Muslim University and the collaborative efforts by the University of Kerala. Also, the topic that assigned to me is understanding student diversity and inclusive education. So let us start with the term.
Professor, it is echoing, Professor. I think so. Two devices are on. I think so. You need to mute one device. You need to mute one device,
So
and you can keep open the other device. So then you wouldn't have the echoing sound.
okay, okay. Shall I forward my PPTs to you?
No, no, Professor. What I'm saying, your PPT is being presented in which device, Professor? Laptop or mobile phone?
Mobile phone, mobile phone.
And which is the other device that you are having it open?
That is iPad.
Okay, can you just mute in which your camera is open, Professor?
Okay.
In which your camera is open, in the mobile phone or in iPad? No, no, you're muted yourself. You're muted yourself. Can you unmute and speak? Yeah.
Okay. In iPad, camera is opened.
Oh.
Now see, there is no.
Yeah, now there is no echo. Okay, fine, Professor. You can continue now. Yeah, right.
Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you. See, the student diversity. That what is the concept of student diversity? The student diversity is concerned with different kind of languages, different kind of rural backgrounds, others say background, rural, urban, different kind of socio-cultural backgrounds of the learners. And there are so many variations, so many differences among the students that a teacher has to face this challenge. And it is very difficult sometimes that how to manage when the students from different states are having different languages, and they also want the lecture in a kind of conducive way where the all can be satisfied. So the medium of instruction is English that we used in the classroom. But diversity among the students also due to interest, due to abilities, and due to this talents of the students also. Say for example, someone is very much enthusiastic in doing writing work. Someone is very enthusiastic in doing certain kind of artistic work. So in what way they differ from each other? They differ from each other in their talent. So diversity refers to the presence of a wide range of differences among students within a learning environment, and these differences can include variations in cultural background, variation in interest, variation in various perspectives, learning styles, languages spoken, and individual needs. Embracing student diversity promotes inclusivity, equity, and a supportive learning environment where all students can thrive and cooperate positively to the educational committee. So, what do you understand by these all that have been given in this slide? I have given that the student differs in interest, students differs in their cultural backgrounds, students differ in their learning styles, and students differ in their language spoken and in the individual needs. So these are the different parameters that come in a classroom, and students differ on the basis of these parameters. Now, the diversity when exists in any class, what is the role of teacher? The role of the teacher is to love each and everyone without any bias. And when we say about the National Education Policy 2020, there are basic 5 principles that we have to learn very much, and whole policy is dependent on these 5 basic pillars. What are these? Anyone can say? कोई बता सकता है वो क्या है? Yes,
Participants,
yes.
can you please answer?
What are the 5 basic pillars of National Education Policy 2020? Okay, there are 5 basic pillars. One is the equality, that is equal treatment to each. Another is the equity. Equity means that is participation of every learner, whether they have variation and differences in several parameters, but embrace the equity. Every learner should be participate in the learning process. Equality says about the equal treatment to each and everyone, but the equity says that we want participation from every corner of India. Third one is quality. That is, whatever the instructions we are giving in the classroom, that should have qualitative. Qualitative in the sense that the good kind of education should be provided so that they can use and they can utilize this particular education to the outer world when they are going or when they are going out of the institution and going to the society. Another one is the accountability. What is accountability? Accountability is concerned with the stakeholders. Those who are involved in the education process, they are accountable to give the answer of any questions concerning with their department. Another, the last one is
Affordability.
Ji? Last one?
Last one is affordability, madam.
Sorry. Last one is feasibility. Feasibility is concerned with the infrastructure, that it should be feasible, that whatever we are recommended for the education system, that we should provide kind of resources and feasible to impart quality education in the higher education institutions. So these all principles of NEP 2020 is concerned with our student diversity. And student diversity is directly connected with the equity, where the participation of every student from every corner is very essential. See, here are some points to define student diversity in simple language. One is different backgrounds, another is varied interest, unique abilities, diverse perspectives, varying learning styles, language diversity, and different needs. So these are the various perspectives, or these are the various dimensions, various parameters on which the students differs from one in one classroom. And the role of teacher is to produce conducive environment there. Now see, for planning of this differences and this kind of perspectives on the basis of which the students differs from one another, we have the inclusive classroom. Inclusivity says that every should be giving the education. So planning for inclusive classroom for a teacher is very essential. First, we will define the inclusive education. See, what is inclusive education? According to UNESCO, inclusive education is seen as a process of addressing and responding to the diversity of needs of all learners through increasing participation in learning, cultures, and communities, and reducing exclusion from education and from within education. So this definition says that diversity of needs of learner, when we include in the education process, we can say that we are paying regards to all the cultures, we are paying regards to all the languages, we are paying regards to all the learners' needs, capabilities, abilities, talents, etc. So inclusive education says that you include everyone in the process. Exclusion is not demanded or not needed in the society. What we want? Inclusion. We want equity. We want participation of every learner. And our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji also says, "Sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka vishwas." ये कब possible है? When it is possible? It is possible when we are trying to bring all the students from every corner of India in the classroom. And this classroom that gives the shape, that gives the benefit to all the learners is ultimately says as an inclusive classroom. And the education provided in such kind of environment is known as inclusive education. So this is the simple way to understand it. Now see, the term inclusive education is a step forward. Integrated education in that it goes beyond children with disabilities and refers to an education system that accommodates all children regardless of their physical, intellectual, social, emotional, linguistics, or other conditions. So again, the same spirit is here, that anyone who is differed from one another in the physical, intellectual, social, emotional, linguistic, or other conditions, but they all will sit in a one class and they will be provided education, similar kind of education, and this classroom differs, no doubt differs, on the basis of language, on the basis of backgrounds, on the basis of emotional and intellectual abilities of the students, but they will learn, they will go all together. All children and young PPT work नहीं कर रहे, ऐसे करो. See, all children and young people of the world, with their individual strengths and weaknesses, with their hopes and expectations, have the right to education. Those who are having any kind of disability, we ignore them. ये कैसे पढ़ने जाएंगे? How it is possible that the particular person will go to the school because he is handicapped? But what we have to think? We have to think that possible. The impossible is possible in National Education Policy 2020. And it embraces abilities and capabilities of all, whether they are from different backgrounds, whether they are having any kind of this ability, and anyhow, if they differ from one another, we pay respect, we pay regards to everyone. So all children and young people of the world, with their individual strengths and weaknesses, with their hopes and expectations, have the right to education. And it is not our education system that have a right to certain type of children. Therefore, it is the school system of a country that must be adjusted to meet the needs of all children. So the needs of all children should be met within the education process. Now, this is the National Curriculum Framework 2005 that clearly gives significance to child-centered pedagogy that can meet the range of challenges confronting the inclusive school system. See, the NEP 2020 says that we have to pay respect to everyone. But before that, National Curriculum Framework 2005 also says the same statements. And this also carries that child-centered pedagogy should be followed in the classroom in place of teacher-centered pedagogy. अब इन दोनों, what is difference between this child-centered and what is difference between this child-centered and this teacher-centered? And can anybody tell me what is difference between these two, child-centered and this teacher-centered pedagogy? कोई बताएगा मुझे इन दोनों में क्या difference है? Please try to speak, and it will be better if you will open your videos. अगर आप अपनी videos open करेंगे, so we will be happy to interact with you.
Participants, please respond.
What is difference between child-centered pedagogy and teacher-centered pedagogy? Okay, so I will tell you. See, child-centered pedagogy means where the child is given importance, where we give importance, and our main focus is on child interest, child abilities, and child capabilities. So this kind of child-centered pedagogies are concerned with the development and growth of the child, mainly concerned with this. So innovative pedagogical practices that are being explained in NEP 2020, they all come under child-centered pedagogy. What are these? कौन सी हैं ये? Number 1 is demonstration method. Number 2 is brainstorming method. Number 3 is concept mapping. You know, each and every method has its own characteristics and they differ from one to another. But main focus of these innovative pedagogical practices that I told you, project method, demonstration method, concept mapping method, brainstorming method, these all are concerned with the child-centered pedagogy. Another concept that I told you, that is teacher-centered. Teacher-centered pedagogy is concerned with the teacher's coverage of the syllabus in general sense, in very simple language, because the teacher-centered approach is a kind of autocratic kind of pedagogy where teacher has to deliver a lecture, and how far the student is able to understand this lecture, no space for that. Only the coverage of the syllabus, that we have covered unit 1, we have covered unit 2, we have covered unit 3. Now we are going to take your summative evaluation. So this kind of pedagogy does not give good results in the academic development of the students. That's why NEP 2020 is saying that the child-centered pedagogies are better and more beneficial for the students in comparison to the teacher-centered pedagogy. Okay. Now see, inclusion is not. Sometimes we confused with the term that we are having the lot of differences in the classroom, and so many variations are there in the spectrum of the individual needs and individual abilities and talents. So we consider that inclusion is that we will take each and every individual separately. No, never. Inclusion is not focusing on an individual or a small group of people for whom the curriculum is adapted. Different work is devised or support assistance are provided. About how to assimilate individual peoples with identified special educational needs into existing forms of schooling. So, what is not inclusion? Inclusion is not to pay the attention on one individual, and inclusion is not to pay attention on one group, but we take all the individuals as one, joining hands to all together. See, this is also reflects the another kind of picture of our country, India, that we differ in culture, but we all are one. So oneness in differences, this is the our identity as an Indian. Say, for example, there are a lot of flowers in a garden. They are giving a kind of smell, fragrance to us, and we are very happy that this one is black color, this one is red color, this is of pink color, this is of white color, but all are in one garden, giving the beauty to the garden. Similarly, in the classroom, there is culture from different corner of the country, but they all are one, and they are giving only having the one spirit that we are having. We are Indians. Our identity is Indians. So we are civilized, we are literate, and we can say environmentally literate citizens of India. This is only the reflection of inclusive education, where no differences, where is no any kind of viceness, but we give respect and regard to the differences. Now, what is inclusion? Inclusion is a process rather than a state, and by which a school attempts to respond to all people as individuals, regards inclusion and exclusion as connected processes. Schools developing more inclusive practices may need to consider both, emphasizes the reconstructing of curriculum provision in order to reach out to all people as individuals, emphasizes overall school effectiveness, and is of relevance to all phases and types of school, possibly including special schools, since within any educational provision, teachers face groups of students with diverse needs and are required to respond to the diversity. So, what inclusion is? As I told you, inclusion is a process where all the students from different corners of the India are bind all together in such a way that they all are Indians. And this kind of identity and this kind of classroom that is known as inclusive classroom is concerned for the overall school effectiveness, and also concerned with a kind of relevance to all phases and types of school. So, including special schools for disabled students, those having heard special, having MAD special. So, what is this? This is a kind of special kind of course where the teachers are trained accordingly as per the need of the special child. So this is the kind of course that train the teachers in that sense, that diversity is very important aspect, and we should understand that what kind of differences, in what kind of differences they differ. So be it course in special education, MAT course in special education, these courses are familiar among in various universities. And the normal kind of B.Ed, that is simple B.Ed, 2 years and 2 years B.Ed and 2 years M.Ed. These B.Ed and M.Ed courses are not concerned to coverage the special kind of needs, but they simply a normal kind of students. They give the instructions to deal the normal kind of students, but the special courses gives a special kind of training. See, now the person with disabilities, PWD, Equal Opportunities, Protection of Rights and Full Participation Act 2016, and main provision of the act is that promoting the integration of students with disabilities in normal schools, promoting setting up of special schools in government and private sector, and conducting special part-time classes for providing functional literacy for children in the age group of 16 and above, imparting education through open schools or open universities, conducting class and discussions through interactive electronic or other media, providing every child with disability free of cost special books and equipments needed. So this slide shows that special kind of classes have been recommended by the NEP 2020, that those who are in need of remedial classes, the school should arrange such type of classes for that. A special kind of B.Ed and a special kind of M.Ed, those who have done and those who are trained, they may be giving chance in the school system just to deal the students having this special kind of difficulty. So they will also act in the school for the special kind of students, and every child with disability free of cost special books, equipments, these all will be needed and will be provided by the school. Now NCF 2005 underscores the importance of participation of all children, especially the children with special needs, children from marginalized section, and children in difficult circumstances in all spheres of life, both in and outside the school. And it states inclusive education is about embracing all. तो जो बात हम अभी कर रहे थे, we were talking about the same talk, that embrace the equity, embrace all. What is equity? Equity means embrace the equity and try to participation of each and everyone. So this inclusive education was also recommended by NCF 2005. The Right to Education RT Act 2009 provides for free and compulsory education to all children of the age of 6 to 14 years, including the children with disabilities. This is the right to education for the disabled students, those who are having any kind of handicap. They may be provided free and compulsory education, age group 6 to 14. That is schooling stage. See, this is the Samagra Shiksha. What is this? This is a kind of government initiatives that launched by UP government also. And this Samagra Shiksha says that those girl students, those who are unable to go to the school, and those who are become out, this dropout, anyway, they may be due to financial crisis, they may be due to social taboos, and they may be due to any kind of reasons that the locality does not allow them to go there. So such kind of reasons, they are not reaching to the school. But what will happen after completing 4 or 5 years in schools? They are at home. What will happen? They will ultimately become dropout. So the government initiative says that those who are not going to the school, specifically the girl students, because the dropout among the girl student is more in comparison to the dropout of the boys. So government has launched this Samagra Shiksha, overreaching programs for the special school education sector extending from preschool to class 12th, aligned with the recommendation of the National Education Policy 2020 and Sustainable Development Goal 4. क्या है, what is the Sustainable Development Goal 4, number 4? बताइए, tell me.
Participants, if you all know about SDGs, please say to Madam.
Okay. SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Number 3 is...
Madam, number 4 is quality education.
Ji?
Am I audible, madam?
Yes, audible, yes. जी बताइए.
Yes, Mr. Tamim. Is it Mr. Tamim?
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes.
as per my opinion, sustainable development means that can facilitate development, also sustainable economic growth that also can protect our environment and also facilitate economic growth.
Economic growth as well as education.
Exactly.
Education भी है.
Education and development.
Yes. So, जरा सा please, a minute, I will give you a scheme of this all. Let me search it. I have another paper on this sustainable goal, and these sustainable goal, 4 and 5. 4 is concerned with the quality education, and 5th is...
Actually, we add SDGs to our course plan. You know, which of the 17 SDGs is matching our course plan? So we are supposed to map it with the course plan that we prepare for each course.
Yes. So should I present the list of SDGs, or you can arrange this?
Ma'am, you can just quickly present the 17 SDGs just for the reference of once
Okay.
again at the collection. Yeah.
Yes, it was in my PPTs, but time is not allowed to go these all.
Okay, no issues, madam. No issues. We can proceed. We can
Okay,
omit that.
I will send you this 17 SDGs. Then you may go through it, and if I find it quickly, then definitely I will show you. Okay, I will send you. No, because I have to cover a lot of
No
things.
issues, madam.
Okay.
It is available on the internet, so even we can take it. No issues. You can proceed. Yeah.
Yes, you may go through internet also. See this Samagra Shiksha. This is also the government initiatives. Now see, in the classroom, what you have to do when there are students differ in their needs, differ in their talents, differ in their languages, differ in their social cultural backgrounds, what you have to do? आपको क्या करना है? So students from various regions belongs to different castes, speak different languages, hailing from different states, having different learning styles, suffering many disabilities, encountering various learning difficulties. What is your duty being a teacher? Understand the learner. Always identify the learner. What kind of learner is he or she? Because the nature of the learner is the ability and talent that reflects. Say, for example, a learner is quick in reply, quick in answering. It means he is wholeheartedly involved in the teaching learning process and having the talent also that he may be giving the enriched program also. On the another side, if the student is silent, no, don't know anything, and sometime shy, and sometime unable to speak, such kind of differences you will find in the behavior of the students also. So those who are unable to speak, those who are having certain kind of hesitation in the classroom, you will have to deal them in another class. Another class means differently, in a different way, that what is your name, from where do you belong to, which place, and such kind of questions, just to make the learner interaction as a guide, as a mentor, not as a autocratic leader, but as a guide, as a mentor. So first you understand the nature of the learner, then deal the learner accordingly, or give the treatment accordingly. Think the needs of child. Every child has specific needs. Write down all the children who have additional educational needs. That I am saying you, that few students never like to speak before all. Few students are having certain kind of stammering. Few students are having vision problem, and these kind of students will always must be helped by you in the form of additional educational needs. So think about the topic you are planning to teach, whether it caters the needs of the students. Will some children find this topic harder than others? That will happen in the classroom. The few are replying very soon, few are very happy, satisfied, yes, you are also saying good. But what is your duty is here? Your duty is that you have to uh, encourage, or you have to provide reinforcement to those also, those who are not with you, or those who are not replying quickly like the bright students. So this kind of teaching learning process needs pains and hard work on the part of the teacher. So what treatment will you give the students, those who are not replying? आप कौन सा ट्रीटमेंट देंगे जब बच्चे रिप्लाई नहीं कर रहे हैं? बताइए मुझे. Few are replying, but few are not replying. What is the condition here? That you are moving with the fast learners. So what will be your duty in this respect? आपकी क्या ड्यूटी है इस सिनेरियो को करने के लिए? बताइए. Tell me please, आप लोग बोलिए please, reply and come forward. That will make me enthusiastic, and that will make me some help from your side, and I would be happy to know your answers. Please reply. So if there is a classroom, few students are replying very quickly, few are only observing, not replying. What will be your treatment with those who are keeping themselves silent? बताइए. Tell me please.
Ma'am, as a teacher, I can use probing questions so that they can respond a bit.
Very nice. Dr. Susmita told that she will give some thought-provoking questions to the students so that students can speak. It is very correct, right answer. And you see that when students are unable to give the answers, you will have to take the help from the supplementary questions. What are the supplementary questions? Supplementary questions means the topic that you are teaching there, you break this topic into smaller pieces and take the simplest one first. Then the next degree of simplicity is quite less than the previous one, but ask the second question that is having the difficulty level more than the previous first one, and so on. And as you are moving towards from simple to complex, your class will be will start replying. Because the simplest questions make them stimulating and they will start giving answer. Then you give certain clues, you may give any story, you may bring any kind of digital device or the teaching aid that you have prepared yourself. Then they will be happy to hear with you and they will feel that it is my class. That feeling should also the student should have, that this is my class. They are not only to pass the time, but this is my class. She is my teacher. Such kind of enthusiastic or such kind of spirit they must have. So what is your duty with such kind of students? That what is the difficulty there, you have to solve anyhow. And this needs creativity of the teacher, this needs confidence of the teacher, this needs your tactfulness to deal the classes. Okay. Now see, instructions that are also giving, and that I told you that the few are involved, few are not involved. How can we involve all? Use a multisensory approach. Multisensory approach means if you are trying to involve the sense organs of the students, they will be happy and they will try to understand what you are saying. Because the researches as evidence say that if the sense organs of the students are involved in the classroom or in the teaching learning process, the learning retains for a longer time. And direct experience of the students make them more dynamic and more active learners. So it is very essential that instead of asking the questions only through verbal mode, try to include certain kind of digital devices, certain kind of demonstration, certain kind of storytelling, or a kind of other stimuli that students observe in the classroom. So multisensory approach means the students' sense organs should also be involved in the teaching learning process. Use a highly structured format for presentation. Highly structured format for presentation means that you prepare few columns in a sheet. Say, for example, you have divided the whole lesson into smaller units. Which unit you have taken? Unit 1. What are the objectives of this unit 1? What aid you will use to present your lecture in the classroom to explain the unit 1? Then what will be the outcomes? Uska kya outcome hoga? What will be the change in behavior of the students? That you have to draw on a sheet. This is known as lesson planning. And this lesson planning helps to go systematically for a teacher. And next one is use graphic organizers, present material in small sequential steps. This is also concerned with the top, point number 1 and 2, that you may use such kind of material, graphs, etc. Teach specific strategies, taking notes, reading, comprehension, etc. Specific strategies means that to give them instruction. Today we will study about this particular topic. Then in this topic we will study about this. And the difficult term, the term that is difficult for the students, you may give the 1 or 2 line just like a note. Nowadays, the students are having this iPad and the smartphones, so they note it in the classroom also. Reading comprehension, that is, you read it with the understanding. So this kind of strategy you may use. You may use the note-taking strategy. You may use the comprehension, reading with comprehension. You may use the question-answer technique also. It is up to you, and also on the nature of the lesson. Review key points frequently. That is what you have taught in the classroom. Always try to understand that whether the students are understanding you or you are going fast and the students are unable to understand. So what will happen? This will be missing. There will be missing, knowledge missing, and students will not be happy. So review key points frequently means after completing one subunit, take few questions and ask the questions to the students. If the students are able to reply, it means they are moving with you. If they are unable, it means there is certain kind of modification is needed. So you will have to change the strategy. Whether give the time to the students that few minutes are here and you may go through these notes and then give me answer. Okay. So this review key points means whatever you are delivering the lecture in the classroom, always ask the questions all together just to know that whether the students are going with you or is there lack, is there a space that is likely to be filled by you in the form of special kind of instructions. Assign a buddy reader or note taker. This is the same point. Provide students with outline of notes and use color coding to match material and concept. This is the also way to teach or to present the teaching material. Reduce visual distractions. Visual distractions means kabhi band ho gayi, kabhi aa gayi. So certain kind of distractions that creating a problem in running the class smoothly. So such kind of distraction should be reduced. Seat student close to board, teacher or student helper away from door or window. That is arrangement of the classroom. So as per your students' need, you can take the dull and the one who is having the low IQ or not interacting with anyone. You may give the seat in front of you, and those who are very quick and very active, they may be giving 3 and 4th row of the classroom. So there should be a change of arrangement of the class also. Provide a quiet work area. Allow students to move if needed. And use visual reminders as memory aids. Use teacher-initiated signals for redirecting attention. Highlight sections of text. So the important points you may highlight here also. Provide tape recording of lecture or required text. Give oral and written directions. Speak slowly and clearly. This is very essential. If you are speaking very fast, so the students could not pace and they could not move as per your speed. Allow for longer response time. Give them time to reply. Organization and task completion. Post assignments and work completed in a consistent spot. Assist students with notebook organization. Use assignment notebook. Extend time to complete assignments. Shorten or chunk assignments. Give timeline for longer projects. Give specific feedback. Provide peer tutoring. Use cooperative learning groups. Provide structured daily activities. Explain changes in routine. And now it is related to evaluation. Explain grading and give rubric. Give specific feedback. preview before test, give frequent quizzes, give sample questions. These are very important, that whatever you are doing, you take the test of the students in the form of this, maybe in the form of quizzes, it may be in the form of this multiple choice questions, it may be in the form of fill in the blanks, etc. Orient student to test format. Use a clear, uncluttered copy and large print. These are the kind of teaching strategies. Whatever you want and whatever you think is suitable for that particular class, you may use it. Make test directions simple and clear. Provide sample space for answering or test. Allow alternate test response, oral or computer. Read test aloud to student. Give open note or take home test. Use alternate forms of evaluation, oral report, group projects and debate. Reduce required assignments. Provide proofreading checklist. Accept print or cursive writing. So these are the ways. How can you do the classwork and how can you motivate your students to involve in the teaching learning process? Adaptations for your inclusive classroom. These are the five ways through which you can also take a kind of good teaching in the classroom. Alter the instructional arrangement. Say, for example, today you have delivered the instruction and you have taken a test. Next time you alter this, change this. You may take that picture is there, it fixed on the wall. Now call the students. Tell me what is this. You write it, and every student, that is from first seat to the last seat, all the students are involved in teaching learning process. So you may alter your arrangement as per the need of the class. Don't follow the same instructional strategy every day. Don't follow it. And change time to time. Alter the physical or social environment. Sometimes you may take the group discussion. Sometimes you may take the kind of panel discussion, some kind as a speech. Everyone will speak on this particular topic, considering these particular points. So everyone has the opportunity to speak before the class. So this is also one kind of strategy that you may follow. Alter your methods and material. Same, that similar kind of strategy don't follow every day, but you change it. Alter the process or task. If you are taking this with the help of this multiple choice, you may change it. You may take fill in the blanks. You may take another kind of evaluation also. And sometimes you may check it, that if the students are having the new innovative creative ideas related to the topic, welcome them and encourage them. You write it. You please write any story on a particular topic. Please you prepare a kind of picture on this topic. So as the subjects are there, they differ. Alter the process or task. Alter the level of personal assistance. One day you have helped a student too much. Slightly and slowly and gradually try to avoid helping and make the students confident. So in that way, slowly, gradually, they will be able to know that what do you want to say through your subject. So these kind of strategies are being followed by the higher education institutions also. We are working on the school education and the school kids, but it is also suitable and appropriate for the higher education institutions. See this. Despite the diversity in the classroom, we can teach students inclusively with the help of innovative methods. What are the methods that we can use for this inclusive method? That is inclusive education use child-centered method, the project-based learning, mind mapping, reflection, brainstorming, demonstration, problem solving and discussion, project-based learning, and students explore what they like, matching different learning styles. Mind mapping helps organize ideas visually for critical thinking. Reflection helps students understand themselves better in learning, brainstorming, and creativity and problem solving. Demonstration and discussion improve understanding and communication. Various learners among the various learners. So these methods ensure all students, no matter their background or skills, and they feel involved, help, and succeed in learning. So these concerned with your diversity and concerned with your this inclusive classroom. Now we come to the another part of this inclusive classroom, that is related to pedagogy. So first you must know what is pedagogy. Pedagogy, what is pedagogy? Anybody can tell me? Can anybody tell me? What is pedagogy? Sadaf? Dr. Sadaf?
Dr. Sadaf, are you here?
Are
Anybody
you?
else who would like to explain what is pedagogy?
Ma'am,
Yeah,
may I try?
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
please,
please,
yes.
please.
So, ma'am, pedagogy, I think, is the science of knowledge, as in how we are to go about a particular curriculum. That's what pedagogy helps us to plan out.
Pedagogy is science of teaching and learning. कैसे सीखें और कैसे पढ़ाएं. It is known as pedagogy. We study different methods under this head, pedagogy or pedagogy, the same, and the pronunciation is quite different. Pedagogy is concerned with the science of teaching and learning. Why we are saying it science? Why we are saying process of teaching and learning as a science?
Ma'am, actually, I think that it deals with child psychology, because as a teacher it is important to understand the abilities and capacity level of the students. Then I can deliver my text or my content matter as per the understanding level of the student, and pedagogy is concerned with this psychology of the student.
Yes, 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 yes. Right, right. We are saying it's science. Why we are saying science? Because it follows the rules and principles of science. So, for example, principle of systematic going, principle of organized way, principle of objectivity, principle of variety, principle of flexibility. These are the principles related to science. I explain you. First is principle of systematization. That is, in science, when we proceed any demonstration, any kind of experimentation, we always proceed in a systematic way. First, we set the devices or the experiment. Then we start coding this, see what is going on, note it, then check it, and then finally you reach at a conclusion. So what is this? This is a systematic procedure. You are, without arranging the experiment, you can't do it. Without mixing one component with the another, you can't observe. So it is a systematic process, one by one by one. Similarly, in case of teaching, first you have to introduce your topic. Second, you have to present your topic. Third, you have to understand your learner, what they are able to learn, whether they are able to understand or not. So we are moving in teaching from one step to another in a systematic way. That's why we are saying it's a science. Second principle is principle of objectivity. Principle of objectivity means that we are not predicting that I am mixing this component, this element with this mixture, so that will happen. There is objectivity that the reaction takes place in that way, and the compound mixture that we received or that we achieved after particular reaction will be this name. So this is, what is this? This is principle of objectivity. If you are measuring pressure of air or you are measuring the temperature of any room, you will say that is itne degree. You are not saying that this is between this to this. No. When you are measuring with the help of the thermometer, the fixed findings are there. So objectivity means that teaching wants, teaching demands your objective attitude, not the subjective that he can't understand, he is unable to write, he is unable to read. This is subjective. When you go through the all teaching process and you find that the particular individual, those who are unable to write, can write now, that means you are going through the objective procedures. So this kind of teaching that made the science is due to scientific principles. Two principles I explained. One is principle of this objectivity and principle of systematization. Similarly, principle of variety. What does it say? Principle of variety means that the similar kind of experiments, the similar kind of proceedings is not allowed in the classroom. But the environment should change day by day. That is variety of experiences a scientist received. And after receiving all the experiences, he concludes. And these conclusions are generalized on the other situation. Similar cases there. In teaching, the things are systematized, the findings are in the form of objective way, and all the experiences that the students receive that are concluded, that the teacher interaction after this, whatever you find, it is concluded, and then it is generalized to the same classroom if the situations are lying similar. So what does it call? It is known as action research. In education, we call it action research. So it is a kind of science because it is also a scientific research. Got my point? So we are going through the different kind of pedagogy now.
Professor Nasrin,
Yes, please.
I'm having just a question, sorry, at this point of time. Like you're talking on the topic of diversity of students.
Yes.
So when India is compared to the other countries around the world, we find that the diversity of students in universities and colleges is more seen visible in Western countries, European countries, as compared to India. Like people from developing nation like to go to the other developed nation, whereas people from developed nation, uh, for them it would be not a great choice to come here. So is there any specific reason why we are comparatively low on diversity?
You're right that in developed countries, we find the students from different corner of universe and they are interacting, but the syllabus in curriculum is similar for all. In case of India, when there is diversity in the classroom, we are trying to achieve the objectives of the common goals of the education. So we are trying to consider this diversity as a kind of special challenge for a teacher, and we are trying to achieve these all with the help of different kind of environment in terms of changing the pedagogy, in terms of changing the classroom setting, in terms of co-curricular activities, other kind of activities that need to explain the topic concerned. Okay, and you must observe that in classroom we are also having certain kind of festivals in our education institutions. What these are, why we are celebrating these all, because all the cultures and all the religion that are one, having one kind of content, and we only pay respect and regard to all. So diversity in education is concerned with the all kind of differences that exist in Indian classroom, that may be due to gender wise, it may be due to a kind of disabilities, it may be due to kind of languages, it may be due to kind of socio-cultural backgrounds. But in case of developed countries, the only single language that is this English, and we are also using English, we are also using English there. But the diversity in inclusive classroom are not considered as we are considering as a challenge for a teacher in the Indian situation.
Okay, Professor. Thank you for your explanation. Thank you very much.